This is Candace. Welcome to Highwire. I am sitting here with newly published author Kat Varn, who is the author of her new book, Ameera, Unveiled. Nice to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Tell us a little bit about this. It is a fantastic story of your transformation into belly dancing.
I've always wanted to write as a result of being an avid reader, and when my soulmate husband retired me in 2004, we decided to travel a lot, and I had a little bit more time on my hands, and I decided, I'm going to put that on my bucket list. I'm going to write a book. And I had a lot of marinated ideas in my head that I was going to do other than this book. But when I decided as an empty nester to become a dancer, which was based on a forbidden zone, as I was grown up as a baby boomer and a military child, I decided that, I'm going to take dance up. I did, and a lot of this story is based on my actual experience. And then when I started really, really marinating the idea and getting itchy to write a story, I contacted a local book coach, pitched it to her at Barnes & Noble in a cafe over a coffee, and she jumped right on it and said, jump in the glittery pool, let's do it.
That had to be a life-changing moment for you.
It was, and I never ever approached it as being published. I approached it as a story of women bonding, the strong ability of women to bond, and not a real housewives and bad girls story, but how women who could come together in something that you'll only come together through as a result of the subject matter. And belly dancing was my genre because, I never danced before. So I decided something for me, because it was time in my life that it was about me. I was in my late 40s and was an empty nester, and it was all about me.
I'm sure throughout writing the book, you've had a few ups and downs. What was the most horrific part of just somewhat the writer's block and getting through it, and the criticism that you must have faced coming from that repressed background?
Being shy and vulnerable as a person, anyway, I tended to draw back from being willing for someone to read my work, which I think every writer has that fear, is someone reading you and telling you, no, do it again. And my book coach, Sherry Stock, was amazing in that right. She's Chicago and very, balls to the walls, and she would read some of my very most hardest parts of the story and say, no, nobody will believe that. No, you do that again. No, you get angry. I don't get angry. So I had to make myself look at some of the injustices towards my characters and really reveal some women's issues that, aren't necessarily embraced by American society as we've progressed, and had to look back on, how men in our lives, or circumstances, or careers in our lives, or education in our lives had to metamorphosize with us finding our voices. So it was hard to get in that.
Throughout those hard times, and who did you turn to for support? What was your motivation to keep going and just get through it?
I think that mostly my husband. He really, really respected the fact that I was willing to tell a story in a book. He loves me. He enjoys every little quirky personality trait that I have. He's one of the few people in my life that I can truly, truly be myself, as well as since I've joined my belly dance troupe, Palmetto Oasis, I've been heavily supported by this very eclectic group of women, and we've gone through so many life stages of, children and struggles with career or health, and we've rallied around each other, and he's been just as embraced by the troupe as I was, as we embrace the other husbands and boyfriends of the belly dance troupe. It's quite a little tribe.
What are some of the highlights of writing the book?
Having someone pick it up the first submission. We were setting up my website, deciding that we were going to pitch it, And we had edited for 2 years and gotten it pretty tight. It was still a little bit above the word count. We had to go through and get a little more diversion out. And as we were getting ready to pitch it, my synopsis was pitched to BQB Publishing. And within 30 minutes of us sitting down and trying to do my website, we got an email back and said, we want it. I've never, like Nicholas Sparks, I've never been rejected, even though this is my first book. It was grabbed up instantly. They resonated with the story, they resonated with the female humor, and here I am.
With you mentioning Nicholas Sparks, who are some of your favorite authors?
I read. I love anything from biographies to fantasy. Erin Morgenstern's my favorite right now with The Night Circus. She's so amazing in the way she can visualize the scene, and you feel like you are there. And that was my goal in my book. Sherry said, don't tell it, show me.
Talking about capturing things, in the book you capture your trip to Jamaica very well. Tell us a little bit about it.
The main character was facing her forbidden zone that had been either overtly or covertly sent a message to her that she was not allowed to dance as a very young child, transferring with her parents through the military, and then finally settling in a southern community that she had already passed the age of bonding with the group of kids that she graduated with. So after a very hard relationship in her first marriage, she came into a very supportive relationship and decided, I'm going to face a forbidden zone. And my forbidden zone is going to be dance. I danced as a little girl, and I wanted to jump in and, I guess, walk the high wire. And so at 47, 48 years old, my main character takes up belly dancing. It's like skateboarding. You're not competing against other skateboarders, you're competing against yourself. But to find a local connection with a belly dance instructor and then hook up with a troupe who embraces you, and to be pushed into a very quick arena of teaching and performing in Jamaica within a few weeks of being accepted into a troupe, it was another stage fright moment. But again, because she was embracing forbidden zones, she took the high wire without any safety net and joined them over there and met them pretty much cold turkey and bonded with them through many, many amusing scenarios that lasted for 1 week, and we made the best of it. I mean, we found our humor, we revealed our fears, we revealed our triumphs, we revealed our bad choices, and of course there's other people that come into the mix that you didn't travel with in a hotel that's clothing optional. So you just gotta have an open mind. So,
that's a lot about life.
Yes, very quick baptism by belly dance fire.
What is the main message that you wanted to accomplish with this book?
I think that as a baby boomer and being raised in the early 60s as a child, I didn't necessarily capture Woodstock and, the Bay of Pigs and that type of thing, but I was raised under the notion that my female gender was expected to take a certain role, and I conformed very easily as an oldest daughter. And when I decided to embrace what other women had forged before me, and I decided to find my voice or find my dance, I jumped in and took it back. And I think there are a lot of women that can resonate with the other characters in the book that did the same thing, whether they were allowed to pursue their interest in dance, whether they were allowed to pursue their interest in being part of the hippie culture, or, we all came together because we found our voice or we found our dance. And it's there if you're willing to go out and grab it or shimmy it, whichever way you want to do it.
What's next on your schedule?
I will be in San Francisco as of Wednesday, August 14th, with some friends. We will be watching the America's Cup. I'm out there trying to do some photography. Black and white photography is one of my second loves. And as a result, my BQB has secured me doing a reading or an appearance, whatever they want me to do. It's a quirky little indie bookstore called Green Apple. And so I'll be popping my cherry with Green Apple next Thursday, August 21st at 7 o'clock.
Thank you, Kat. This has truly been fantastic learning more about your book. For those of you interested, I highly recommend it. It's called Ameera, Unveiled, and is now out in stores. We also have links down on the bottom where you can find the book or get in touch with Kat if you would like to learn some more. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, guys, and keep living life without a net.